How's it going, everybody? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars back with another virtual description. Today we are going to talk about our 1965 Chevrolet Impala convertible. This is a vehicle I bought from a customer here in Texas. He had it for a little bit. Unfortunately, I did not get a ton of backstory on this one. All I really know is it lived its most recent life here in Texas, and outside of that, I didn't get any provenance or any history with the car, unfortunately. Sometimes it happens like that, and just gotta kind of roll with it. This is a vehicle that originally would have came with a 327. It still has a 327 in it. It has a suffix code correct motor. Unfortunately, some of these didn't have the VIN stamped on the front of the block. I believe it to be the original motor. Again, it's a suffix code correct motor for the car, and it was originally a 327 car, so that's probably the original motor in the car. Backed by a turbo 353 speed automatic transmission. This would have originally had a 2-speed power glide, so it was upgraded to a 3-speed automatic instead of the 2-speed, which is a good bonus for me. Other options, you're going to be equipped with power steering, and this one is still manual drums. However, the car does still stop nice. Eventually, I would upgrade to a power disc brake conversion, but that's kind of personal preference on that. Power top works well, goes all the way up, goes all the way down. In the middle, it gets a little bit slow, but it does make it all the way up, and it does make it all the way down if you are moving it. It is a factory heat-only car. Unfortunately, the blower motor under the dash is not engaging. The heater cord and everything is hooked up. The lines look good, but again, blower motor's not doing anything, so I don't really know the true condition of the heat. I would suggest doing vintage heat and AC if you wanted to have heat and air, and that's going to be your easiest and most cost-effective way to get the AC and heat going, but this is a non-AC car from the factory. On your exhaust, you retain an original style set of manifolds, dual exhaust. It does have replacement mufflers. It's a stock style muffler, so it's not very loud. Take a look at my test drive video. You'll see me driving the vehicle down the road. It's 8, 9, maybe even 10 minutes long. I got to go back and look. But I'm personally driving the car going down the road. You'll be able to hear the exhaust, and I'll dive into some of the mechanicals a little bit further in that video. On my does it work section, I would say that is probably the biggest downfall on this car, is it does have a kind of a laundry list of items that need to be repaired. Nothing that's major, more just some small things that need to be addressed. For example, this has a 2-gauge pod under the dash, a oil pressure, and a water temperature gauge. Both of those work. This was not optioned with factory gauges. It just was factory lights. So the voltage light does not work. Your horn is not doing anything. It does still retain the original AM radio, but the radio is not functioning. I'd go with a retro sound radio to update that. We talked about the blower motor for the heat not working. And then your smaller items, your dash bulbs aren't coming on, your reverse lights, your interior turn signal bulbs, and then the wipers and the sprayer fluids along with the dash clock. So a decent little list there, but nothing that's too terrible to work on. A lot of the electrical stuff can be updated with just doing some new bulbs and things like that, but nothing that, again, is going to inhibit you from driving the car. Just kind of an afternoon's or a weekend's worth of work to get some of those things working. Take a look at my Does It Work section. It's going to be posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com. It's going to be at the end of all the photos, or if you click on the additional infos tab, you'll see those items there that do not work and the items that do work on the car. During my normal inspection, we found some minor seepage from the valve covers, as well as the transmission pan. Very, very minor stuff. If it sits in the same spot, you'll get a little drip here and there, but nothing that really needs to be tended to. All of the suspension and the steering components are older on the car. Nothing looks freshly restored or freshly replaced, but everything checks out good. It goes down the road well. Again, take a look at the test drive video. You'll hear me talking about some of the suspension along with how the vehicle drives going down the road. On the exterior, the repaint is very nice. The quality shows well. It's a good straight car. Whoever did the bodywork did a nice job. It is a factory Regal red car, so they did repaint it in the original color. It was a factory white top car, so it retains the original cosmetics when it comes to the paint and the top. But the paint has been done. Again, good quality, smaller little imperfections. The additional infos tab's got some good photos of the small imperfections on it. You have a nice set of 17 and 18, so the 17's in the front, 18's in the rear, staggered set of polished torque thrust. Good tires on it. No issues with the wheels or tires. Are ready to go. On the interior, same as the exterior, they redid the interior in the original color. It's code 886, which is a red bench seat interior. It's a stock style interior with the column shift. Bench seat feels good. No real major issues with the interior outside of the gauge bezel, and some of the the gauge face, along with some of the little wear items on the interior, are probably original. So they are showing a little bit of age, but nothing that I would really dive into replacing. But it all checks good. You can see the real interior condition with the normal photos on the website. Engine bay, same thing. It all checks out good. Really clean engine bay. It's stock appearing front to back. The paint on the engine bay all looks good. The engine looks very clean. Again, nothing out of place. It all shows well in the engine bay. On the underneath, like a lot of convertibles, the floors have been done. They used correct pans when they put the floors in. It's nice and solid. The frame is excellent. No current rust issues on the car. At some point, they did put floors in it. Again, presents well. It shows nice. On my website, pcclassiccars.com, we do really good photos of the bottom side so you can really see what you're getting. Take a look at those, and if you need something else, just give us a call and we can get you more photos of anything that you possibly want. Overall feel, it's a 65 Impala convertible. I love 65s. The taillights are one of my favorite taillights across any platform. I think it's an excellent looking car, and a 65 convertible is not something that I normally get in my shop. They are difficult cars to buy, 65 hardtops as well as 65 convertibles in an SS or a non-SS. They've just gotten expensive and they're hard to get. So being a 65, it's a really cool car. Yes, there are some electrical things that you're going to want to do to the car, but nothing inhibits you from driving it right now. It goes down the road great. I would personally do a Dakota digital gauge setup on it. I would do the vintage heat and AC, and I would do a power disc brake conversion on the car if I was going to personally keep it. Those are just my personal wants that I would want to do to the car over time. Obviously, budget constraints for customers. You could do everything at once. You could do all of that stuff over time, or you could leave the car exactly like it sits and just drive it and enjoy it. So again, really cool Impala. Not something that I normally get at my shop. They are getting harder to find and harder to buy because they are getting expensive. And as always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my virtual descriptions. If there's ever anything else that y'all want to see, don't hesitate to reach out. Make sure you check out the test drive video along with the additional infos tab on my website, pcclassiccars.com, and I'll see you guys on the next virtual description. Thanks again for watching.